Alright. Oh yeah, man. You know, I've been standing so much. I really tried to be like super strong for everyone out there who's struggling with whatever they're struggling with, you know. Ultimately, it's their struggle, right? It's their struggle ultimately. And I can really be a tough guy, you know that. I mean, I can really be a really tough guy. And I can run around. And I can show you how really, really tough I am, yeah. I can always look presentable. I have a really, you know, I can have a really shiny beard. I can have a really white teeth. And I can always sleep at 10 at night and wake up at 7. But you know what I really like? Sometimes I just like covering myself with a blanket. And then I just like lying around. I really love that. You know what I also really like? Doing that with the woman I love. Yeah? To just lie around and cuddle and do nothing else. To really spend time together. That is, to me, really nice, right? Because I have to be a really tough fucker all the time. I have to run around. I have to be tough. I have to be a man, yeah? I have to... I have to stand around and I have to say, yeah, I'm a real tough guy, yeah? And you get that a lot from me. You get that a lot from me. You know, and don't mistake me, I mean, you know, I'm a bit like a cat, right? You know, sometimes I can purr and be really like, "Wah." Yeah, but if you annoy me, you know, I'm still gonna be right in your face. You know, and even now I'm right in your face. I mean, I say I like to be weak sometimes, but I'm not weak, you know? I just don't have any strength to stand right now. But I'm still, right? I'm still me in a different position, right? It's like me under a green blanket that's made of plastic. You know, if I could choose, I'd probably have a woolen one. You know, this is the position I sleep like sometimes. You know, it's like one hand, you know, I just tug it underneath, you know. Oh, this is so comfortable. It's like, ooh, I'm so comfortable. So if I'm always trying to be in your face, standing like, yeah, I'm Christopher, I'm the Barbarian Lunatic, yeah, that's very hard to maintain. And that's basically what I was trying to say, you know. Who am I kidding? I'm not always like that. You know, I'm not 24/7 the Barbarian Lunatic. You know, I'm not all the time this tough guy. Because if I'm not in the camera, you know, maybe I'm cuddling with the dog or something. Right? You know, on the inside, sometimes I feel like I'm crying. You know, I feel like there's so much sadness. Like, whoa, I'm so sad. And sometimes I just need to be a little bit gentle with myself. And that's how that looks like, right? This is me being gentle. And still talking about it, right? I'm still sharing it. You know, if you would meet me, you would realize, oh wow, that man is well rested. Because he sleeps a lot, yeah? Instead of watching movies all the time, or looking at the news, or reading the weather forecast, yeah, or listening to politicians lying to us. No, he's resting. Yeah? Because he has important work to do. And that means he has to sleep a lot. Yeah, and sometimes I wish it were different. Sometimes I wish I could be always strong. I tried that. I really tried that. I tried to be strong all the time because everybody's so weak around me. But what's the point? If everybody's weak, why do I have to be strong all the time? If everybody's a pussy, then let them be pussies. Sometimes it takes a lot of strength to show weakness, and that's something that I've learned. Right? I've seen people that just drink coffee all the time and try to be super tough. Some people, they take cocaine and try to be super tough. People even try to be tough and drink a liter of Coke or do beer bong. But, I had the chance sometimes to do beer bong, and I said, nah, it's really stupid. So why would I do that? I don't have to act tough. I just say, because that's, it's acting tough. Who wants to drink beer bong? It's just stupid. I mean, that's not a way to show that you're a man. A way to show that you're a man is sometimes to say no to such things. To say, yeah, you know what? You can go party. I'll stay at home and take a nap because I'm tired and I want to sleep, right? Being a man also means I'm setting boundaries. And you can say, that goes the same for women. If you don't feel like having sex, then don't have sex. Unless your man works hard enough to get you in the mood, and that's the same way, the other way round. If a woman wants to have sex with you, it shouldn't be enough that she just flashes her tits. No. What she should do is then first make you feel comfortable. Get you in the mood. Yeah? Instead, what do women do when they want to have sex? They have a fight with you. They pick a fight. It's like, man, you want to sleep with me? You want to have sex with me? You want something that I have? Well, then give me something first. Because if I have nothing to work with, then, what do you want me to give you? Right? So, either you leave me alone so that I can just rest a little, or you come, if I'm in this position now, let's imagine, right? I'm in this position. I got nothing to give. I give what I can, all right? Now I'm giving to you. Yeah, I slept a little. But if I would have a woman, okay, all right. If a woman would lie next to me now, my hands would start moving, believe me or not. My hands always find their way. I'm very good with my hands. I'm just saying that. My hands find their way. I just start working. That's how I am. But, sometimes I don't want to do it. Sometimes I just want to be a bit like, sometimes I also want to be worshipped as a man. I don't just want to worship women. Oh yeah, you're so sexy. I also want to be worshipped. Because a relationship is about worshipping the other person. Right? And that means if I'm always doing the worshipping, I can always go down on a woman. I can spend hours going down on her. And I know what I'm doing. I'm good with my tongue. I trained it. It's a muscle. Like, you can train that. But it's also very gentle and it's always wet. So women love it. Yeah? And I can do that. I don't have to even use my hands. Yeah, I use my hands to hold her. But then my tongue is doing the work. And I love it, Clean women taste good. Clean women taste good. That's my experience. Anyway. But I also, a woman should also know how to do that. A woman should know how to worship her man. And that doesn't mean she just goes down on him like, and then wants him to, to come, and then she can swallow that and that's that. No. That's an easy way out. I really take my time to please a woman. I start in her face. I start kissing her. I start, touching her with my nose and sniffing her neck and giving her goosebumps. So I open her up. I open her up to the experience of me giving her pleasure. And most women that I met, they never did any of that. I always did all of this. And they did nothing. They just thought, oh yeah, that's just what it is. Some women, they don't return the favor. So why should I always do this? It's stupid. So that's also something you have to learn in a relationship. If you always do the giving, you'll never receive. And if you stop giving and your partner gets angry, then you have to tell them this. Listen, I'm always giving you, don't you see that? I'm a little bit sick of that. But of course you first have to observe it. Because if you just stop giving without knowing why and you're just angry, it's just a bit stupid and then you're gonna have a fight, right? No, you observe what's happening. You keep giving, and then nothing comes back. And then you're gonna stop giving. And then, your woman comes and, or your man comes, you never sleep with me anymore. Well, and then you say, then they come to you. When they come to you, you give them truth and you say, listen, I've been giving you all this time. Now you gotta work for that shit. You wanna have it? It's time you start giving something back. But I don't know how. Well, then figure it out. Think about, you have to treat me like I've treated you. You have to think about what would feel nice for me or what you would like. You have to learn to get used to that giving pleasure. You have to get used to using your hands to make another person feel good. So you have to take your time. A lot of people, you want to exchange massages. Yeah? You give a massage first. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, you give a massage when you want to give a massage. It shouldn't be about giving because you want to receive in the first place. If you want to give, then give. But if you don't want to give, then also don't give. Don't force yourself. Even if your partner comes and wants to cuddle. I've had this. I would sleep with a woman and then, yeah, she'd be super nice and super soft. And next time she comes around, I say, I don't want it. What do you want? Leave me alone. And then she's like, gets angry or, I don't know, starts crying or throws a tantrum. You think, what is this? Like, if I would be in your position, that's what I thought. If I would be the woman in that position and my man would just lay around and be really comfortable, and I would want to sleep with him, you know what I would do? I would first lie down with him. And I would cuddle a little with him. Maybe I would ask him, is it okay if I lie with you? And then the man says, yeah, sure. It's not like he doesn't want it. He just wants to be treated right now. If a man always has to perform and do doggy and missionary, always do the hip movements. No, it has to be balanced. Once in a while as a man, it's nice to just be on the receiving end. If you always have to give, if you always have to be the tough guy, it really loses its touch. And you stop putting in effort. So there has to be a balanced thing. And that means when I lie here as a man and I can't do anything, and you as a woman, you want to give me a present, or you want to engage with me sexually, then what do? Well, you come to me, you give me warmth, you give me a hug, you give me love. You start embracing me. You start giving me a kiss here on my temple. My temple, this is my body, it's my temple. I reside inside of this body. You have to take care of that once in a while. Just as I take care of you once in a while. So you give me a kiss, you start stroking me, start feeling my hair. Yeah, we'll be gentle. And you give me little kisses that are really gentle. You tease me a little, you get me to the mood. And that's how I do it. I trace the line of the woman I love, the face, I trace it really gentle with my fingers. Yeah? Really gentle. That gives me pleasure as well. I know that. And I can see it, right? And she just lies there with closed eyes. That's what you return. Trace like this, and then here the lips. Yeah, and then you gently circle around the lips. Like this. And then you come with your mouth. And then with your lips, you just trace the line of the lips, you know? And when you feel like, you know, he's putting up a smile, you retreat a little and then you come a little closer. He's doing nothing all this time. You're just giving now. He's just lying on his back or whatever, and then, wow. I mean, this is something I've never received from any woman. Never have I received something like this. Never in all this time, with all the women that I've slept or been with, they never did any of that. You know, they just took off their clothes and I had to do the work. You know, I had to go down on them. I had to, you know, I didn't have to do any of it. I like doing this. But at a certain point, it's just like, I've had enough of this shit. Of these weak women that just want to receive. I have enough of this. Of women that, you know, do the Beatle. Just lay on their back. And just want me to do all of this for them. No. You know, it's time that also women realize that it's not enough to just wiggle around in front of the camera. It's like child's play. You want to be a woman, treat your man. Right? And if you want to have a man, then wait for one. Or you're gonna end up having a boy. And that's gonna show how much of a girl you are. I mean, I see these women that do like yoga classes and then they do these postures in front of the camera with really tight pants. How do you call it? The camel toe? And then they look at you like, and they think that's enough. That's how women are these days. They think it's enough to just be pretty. And that's the same for guys. You know, that's materialism. That's body fetishism. You know, it's like guys that think, oh, I have a six-pack. It's so disgusting. I mean, why would you ever want to be with somebody like this? I don't really care what you have on the inside. But that's what you're showing me, right? It's like, oh, I'm super sexy. Yeah, I know you love me. It's like these island retreats where people are sent on an island. And you have to manage to have no sex with each other to win the prize. Well, easy, man, because I think you're all disgusting. Because you all think you're super hot. And that's what makes you disgusting. If you think you're super sexy, you know, I lost my interest just right there. Because if you're so full of yourself, how am I supposed to have a space in your life if you're already full of yourself? Because the goal is to be empty and open. But if you're full of yourself, yeah, sorry. You know, there's no part for me in there. You know, I don't want to battle with you all the time. You know, I don't want to try to win your favor because that's how the relationship will be. If somebody is full of themselves, that means you constantly have to kind of, you have to worship them because they think, I'm the best. And that's why I don't like these transgender people, because that's how they are, you know. Oh, I'm a woman now. Ooh. Yeah. You know, it's such a sad joke, but that's how it is. Yeah. And what does it mean, full of yourself? It's just you're full of shit. Because it's just a facade. It's a facade. You're basically going around worshipping yourself. You don't even know how to worship somebody else because you don't know how to open up. And you think that's strong. It's weakness. Me laying here, opening up to you in such a position, that's strength. You think that's weakness? It's strength. yeah, you probably won't get that. Can't help it. So I know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And the thing is, right, I've never had it once in my life that a woman came and just spent time earning my favor, really showing me that she wants it. You know, she just wanted me to want it so that she could have an easy time. But I'm done doing that. You know, I want a woman that knows how to give. And I already know which woman I want that to know, right? So, for anybody I've never met, forget it, right? I've already have a wife, so you don't have to try to get into my favor because I have no interest in you. I already picked a wife, right? I already know who she is. And she knows who she is. Yeah. So I'm just saying that so that you know what's going on, right? I'm not gonna... this is not for you. This is more for her. You can listen to this and you can learn what you want so that you can find a man that wants this from you, right? But this is the version of myself you'll never get to know, firsthand. This is for my wife. And just have you to know this, right? This is for my wife. That's all there is to it. So what I actually wanted to talk about wasn't that. What I wanted to talk about is media, the news media. But that's such a heavy topic. I don't want to talk about it, right? I'd rather talk about happy times, right? And this is basically all there is to say to that, right? I don't want to talk about the news media because it's so obvious. All they do is they draw an image that's negative. It's like, I don't like this. I don't like the media at all. I don't look at, I don't read the news. Sometimes I throw a glance at a newspaper and all I see is bullshit. I know it's so, right? It's the same with, I know how they are treating animals in the food industry. So why do I have to keep watching movies like Earthlings? I mean, if I don't know that, or the message hasn't sunk in, yeah, I'll keep watching that. But I know it already, and that's why I stay away from meat, alright? Occasionally, I still eat eggs. Yeah, okay. Occasionally, I still eat cheese. Yeah, okay. But at least I already stay away from meat, right? And I'm certainly trying to reduce it. And I'm working on that, okay? Because I know it is like this. And so I look at the news and I see only shit. Everything is terrible. And they've done research on this, and research has shown that if you watch the news, that your idea of the world is very negative. It's not just from watching the news, it's just from growing up in this world and being trained by people that live in fear, right? So you'll have a very negative perspective on the world. It's like people think it's worse than it actually is because the news are only showing you the negative things. And one of the reasons, it's a marketing strategy. They want you to lose all hope so that you try to make yourself feel better because you think, oh, it doesn't matter anyway, right? So you just buy all the things that they want to sell you. You just watch that porn. You just use the industry or the products of the industry to make yourself feel better. So it's a self-serving system, right? Self-serving system. So, right, they're so full of themselves, standing there. Imagine being a news reporter. To have no shame to stand there and spread these one-sided messages, right? And that's a lie then, because the truth always looks at both parts. So if I want to say, I speak the truth, then I always have to show both sides, right? So yeah, I can't just be angry at actors in Hollywood because they're liars. Because the truth is, there's also a human in there, right? So the truth is always in the middle. It's not like this is bad and it's good. No, it's in the middle. So it's neither. But the image the news is painting is, this is bad, but we're good, right? We're really good, but they're bad. Yeah, but we're really the good ones, but they are really bad. And so they shape your opinion in a certain way. They want you to think in a certain way. They want you to think that the rest of the world, Putin, he's the enemy. Putin is the enemy. Yeah. And you're my friend, right? You're my friend. That's why you're so friendly towards me. And that's why I can't really feel free here. That's why you have to forbid me all these things, because you're my friend. Yeah. I mean, that's so weird, right? They try to act so nice, but if you look at it, I mean, they just screw nature. How can somebody be nice if they make, if they sell weapons to other countries? How can somebody be nice if they send tanks to other countries? How is somebody supposed to be good that does that? That makes money with other people killing themselves? That's what your country is doing. All countries do that. All countries that have the right infrastructure to produce weapons, they sell it to other people and they make money with death. They make money with other people killing themselves. So how can somebody be good? Yeah, because they're not. They're real assholes. And so they produce news that distract you from that, because they don't want you to think that. So yeah, they sell weapons, but they position themselves as the savior. They have a problem with Putin and with what Putin is doing, whatever the reason is, right? I cannot say that Putin is good or bad. There's people that believe that he's really a good guy. There's people that believe that Putin is a really good guy, that he's working hard to get rid of these pedophile rings and stuff. I mean, there have to be people like this as well, but you don't really hear of them. I mean, this is like underground stuff we're talking about. Some people believe that Putin does a lot of work in that section. And some people say that, when he marched into Ukraine or whatever, that there was also something with pedophiles or whatever. I don't really know. I don't know these things. I'm too far away. If I would want to get to know Putin, it's probably because he's a politician. He's also self-serving, right? He has a country to run. He has no time to be good or bad, right? He sees things, he acts on them. I don't know what he does, right? I hear stories from people that Russia is very clean. I don't know about that. I've never been there. I'd probably have to live there to know roughly what it's about. I'd have to speak Russian. I have to learn to understand their ways, but I've never been there. So I cannot judge that man, because I'm not in his position. I can just say how it looks to me. I don't know. At least, to me, Putin is not one of these fat people. At least he takes care of himself, right? Physically also. So he seems to me like a very determined man. That's all I can know. And if I look at the news and the media here, they just gossip. I mean, who gossips? Who gossips? Who talks behind other people's backs? Yeah, and then they go there and they shake hands and they turn around and they say, what a fucking asshole. It's like, this is who we're dealing with. That's the politicians. Have you ever watched that movie? Is it called Psycho or American Psycho? Yeah, with Christian Bale. Where they all sit around. This is just the best scene. This movie, it's a little bit brutal, right? Because he just kills people. And whatever I said about Christian Bale, I mean, yeah, sure, he's an actor and he's been pampered and princess, but in presenting these kinds of things, he's very good. I have to give him that. He's very good. I probably still wouldn't want to live with him because he's used to getting his way, but in a way, I'm used to getting my way as well. So, yeah. So, I mean, where they sit all around and then one person takes out their business cards, right? And then they say like, oh wow, look at the writing, the lettering, oh, it looks very unique. And then Christian Bale gets out his business card and puts it there. And then everybody's like, wow, well, that's a very nice business card. Oh wow. And then, he points out its distinguishing features and how it was made. And then somebody else comes along and places his business card also there. And then they're like, damn it, this one's way better than mine. And he gets so angry. He's like, I fucking hate you. I want to, chop off your head or something. And this is how people really are. I mean, this is how a lot of people are. They pretend like very nice and professional. Oh yeah, I want to do business with you. Let's create something great together. And they shake their hand, and at the same time they're thinking, you fucking asshole. I want to kill you. I want to have sex with your wife. That's the people we live with. That's the people we live with. I mean, I'm serious about this. That's why, I work hard. Because I know I want to keep my family safe from people like this. I won't invite, a lot of people into my home because I want to have my home as my sacred place. If I don't really know somebody, I'm not going to bring him home. I've met people that have family, they just keep inviting people all the time and keep going around hugging everyone. I don't want to hug a person that's dirty in their mind. I put a lot of work into cleaning myself. I'm not gonna run around and hug everyone now, because that's just stupid. You have to understand these things. It's also not the point to be afraid about it. It's just, I work hard to clean myself. So I don't have to jump back into the pit, because that's just what I get out of, right? And I realize the less time I spend with other people, the better I feel. The less time I spend time touching and hugging people, the better I feel. And I want to keep it that way so that when I'm together with the woman that I love, I'm clean. And I'm open towards her because I'm not full with the shit that I get from touching other people. I'm not full with my own shit because I'm working to get out of, to get that, to transform this. And then from that place, you can build a really happy family. But if you just spend your day watching the news because you think there's something to learn there, then you don't know how to learn. Right? You just think they're going to teach you something valuable, but they don't. The only thing you're going to get from them is negativity and false idols. If you really want to look at it, you have to always look at the whole picture. So you look at the news, and then you have to also look at the other side. Okay, what is he really doing? They're trying to make Putin look like an enemy. Why do they have an interest in doing that? To distract you from what they are doing. If they make Putin look like the enemy, then they can sell you the idea that giving weapons to Ukraine is a very honorable thing to do. No, it's a very cowardish thing. They give weapons to another country Well, they hide at home and make money with that. Because they're not the ones that are gonna fight this. They're not gonna be the ones that hold the weapons, right? I mean, that's what they have the police for, right? They're all cowards. They never fight any battles, only with words. They don't challenge themselves to grow as a person. No. They pay other people, you know, to do their dirty laundry. They don't, right? They don't clean their own house. They have people to clean that. Or their woman is supposed to do that, right? They don't bring out their own trash. These people think they're above this. But the thing is, they're actually beneath it. They're too stupid to realize that there's a lot of value in bringing out your own trash. That's why I bring out my own trash. There was something. I don't know what. Oh, wow. There was something I wanted to show you. I mean, how does the media shape your mind? You can just look at that. Just pay attention to it. You know, when you think that you have to read the news or have to know what's going on in the world, well, I say, you don't really. I mean, did they know what was going on in the world 500 years ago? No. Do you think they had a very bad time? No. I mean, I don't have to know anything that's going on in the world. I know what I need to know, right? If I want to talk about something, do you know what I do? I just go on YouTube and then just pick a video that seems interesting, and then I watch that, and that gives me enough ideas so that I can talk for 2 hours. That's all I have to do. I don't have to look at the news. I know what they're doing, right? I've seen that all my life. I know what they're doing. I was never interested in any of that. But sometimes I was pretending, right? Some people, they read the news. Do you know why? So that they can talk. You know, it gives them security. They feel like they know what's going on, but they don't. You know, it's like doing the right thing, right? It's like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. I'm reading the news. And how is that going to help anyone? While you're reading the news, you could do other things, right? You could try to figure out why you think you have to read the news. Like, who are you trying to make happy with that? Now, I've had people that got angry with me because I didn't know to which party their chancellor belonged. You know, they thought I had to know such things, and I said, why? It's so unimportant. And they thought I was stupid, you know? They thought I was an idiot. And I realized, what's the point? What's the point of knowing how big this construct of Germany is? Because to me, it's just something in your mind. I don't have to know how big it is, because it's a symbol for, you know, being greedy for power. It's a symbol of control. You know, to establish a country and setting boundaries, it's just a symbol of fear, so that you can keep other people out or control who comes in. I mean, these boundaries, they shouldn't even exist. We should just have the world. And if you want to travel, you travel, right? If you want to get to Australia, how are you going to get there? Without planes? Without boats? Well, you wouldn't. I don't really see how international travel has improved anything. It just made it all really dirty. We waste so much time traveling around the world. What's the point? I really don't get this anymore. I mean, if you're happy, just stay where you are. And if you're not happy there, well, then work on yourself. It doesn't mean you cannot travel anymore. It also doesn't mean you can't move to another place, right? No, I want to move to another place. That's what I want, right? That's just how I see it. But I know why I want to move, right? So sure, you fight. I want to fight, so I want to get out of here because here's nothing. I want to get to a place that's a little bit bigger. I don't want to get there because I like cities so much. I want to get there because I want to. Nah, that I want to keep to myself more where I want to go. But in general, I know where I want to go, and it's a big city. Because I want to change something, right? So I want to be where people are that also want to change something. I want to engage with people. Where I am here, nobody wants to change anymore. They think it's good the way it is. They like to keep to themselves. And that's what politicians also like, right? They like to think they're better. So they like to keep to themselves so they don't have to open up to, people like me. Because, they're also afraid, of course. Because if you would get to know how politicians are really like the real them, you wouldn't be so fond of them anymore. Because a man that's chubby and is making decisions for the country, that's a man that has a very unfulfilled life. That gets pleasure from eating and sitting around. Do you want such a man to run your country? Like a weak man? A man that is weak? Do you want such a man to run your country? A man that is obese? Or a man that just tells lies all the time? Why would you want that? I don't get it. I want the chief to be someone you can look up to. Somebody who's strong and who's not afraid to show who he is. That's me, right? So I just had to create my own idea of what a man is because I didn't see them anywhere. People who wear suits are just stupid because suits are very tight. Energy can't flow properly in them. And then they have these really tight suits that sit like a glove. They're terrible. I don't like gloves. They're too tight. I like my clothes to be a bit airy so that energy can flow properly. Anyway. What's going on? I'm just... Right. Yeah. The story of my life. People ignoring what I'm trying to tell them. Always like that. Hasn't really changed. These live sessions seem to be very boring. I really don't get it. Why do people follow me if they don't spend time with my content? You have to learn to listen, really listen. If you can't listen to yourself, listen to someone else. And you have to really listen to what people are saying. Not the words, but what's behind the words. And then watch the news and see what's really going on. What are they really saying? You have to have a little bit information. You need a bit of background. Or you just have to understand people a bit better. What's the intention of the country? It's to maintain power, to hold itself together, and to make money. So whatever they say, it's always give me more money, right? Yeah. Wow. So what is power really, right? What is power? It's nothing. What is power? Some people say, I want power. Sometimes people say that. And? Because what they don't realize that it's the people. It's the community that gives the power to the chief. But the chief should know that it's the people he gets that from. So without the people, he'd have nothing. And that's what these systems, they forget it. They started to forget that they need us. So they use us to make themselves feel powerful, and they forget that they need us. And we forget that they need us. We think we are some second-rate, weak idiots that are just there to pay tax. But if we would all band together and say, none of that anymore. If we would as a community, as the people would decide to stop paying tax, we would dry out their machines. If we would just stop going to these industries, to these factories, if we would just stop going there. But what's the alternative? If we just all start staying at home, then what's gonna happen? Of course, the police would have to join in as well. And then you just have the politicians left sitting around. But if there's nobody to govern, because we all left to lead a better life, we just all left to live in our own communities, produce our own food now, and take care of the forest and nature, then the power is back with nature, where it should be, right? Because that's a self-maintaining system. It cleans the air, it provides the food, so it makes sense to engage with nature and to spend time with nature and in nature, because ultimately it's nature that keeps us alive, right? And they want us to forget this so that we keep all our energy, we all put it into them so that they can have a good time. Good times are bad times. You can see that. We want to all have a good time, and what we create is actually a pretty bad time. You have a good time drinking alcohol, you'll wake up to a bad time with a hangover. And that's what we're doing right now. We're so busy having a good time, and we're just trying to blend out how bad it actually is. How secluded we all are. How full of hatred we all are. Oh wow. Sometimes I really need to have a day like this. Oh wow. I just couldn't stand anymore. My back was aching, my shoulders were aching. And so how can I make good decisions also as a politician, right? Because they're also just trying to do their job. Because the people want politicians to take the weight of responsibility from their shoulders. But just imagine how many politicians are running a whole country. Like, how many politicians are responsible for millions of people? That's a lot of weight, man. It's a lot of weight, and you're placing it into their hands. You say, I give you money, and you make choices for me. This doesn't work. It just doesn't work, because you cannot pay somebody enough to carry your weight. And when millions of people say that to this tiny government, yeah, I mean, that's just too much. Too much responsibility at once. So what do you think they're gonna do with it? It's gonna get to their heads. Wow, look at all this power that I have. I'm controlling millions of people. Wow, I'm a real player in life. Yeah. It's gotten to your head, man. Yeah, and then you do these things. I don't know, people in politics, I think they snort a lot of cocaine. They drink a lot of coffee. and they just try to keep this show running because it's their show, right? It's their I'm powerful. So they also need this now. Now they're dependent on it. So they have an interest to keep this going because it makes them feel powerful. They want to maintain that. And then you have the police, right? And anybody who wants to say something about this system and criticize it, he's the enemy! He tries to take away my power! That's how it works. That's how the game is played. So they're really afraid because this is all they know, right? This is all they know. This is their little game. I'm powerful, right? And they'll go to great lengths to protect that. So all you can really do is just to relax, to say, hey, I have the right to speak here. You know, you tried to claim my life. You try to label me as a German. Or as, I don't know, somebody from the States or whatever. Now you try to label me. You try to put a mark on me. So that I'm trapped in your country for all my life and pay tax here. I don't want this. I want to leave. I want to go somewhere else. I want to go to a place that's more open to change. To a place where people are open to change. Where my heart can do its work. And find people that want to listen. But I don't want to just be in this room all the time, right? You know, I want to be where people are. I want to engage with people. I want to give people a feeling. I can't do that through a camera. And that's the truth of it. I know what I can do. It's just what I've been doing all this time. Maybe I just have to find people that see potential in that. Yeah. So I get it, it's a tough job. But it's their choice. I mean, they chose to do this. They could have done something else. But they wanted to be on top. But there is no top. No, there is no real top. It's just people who are really afraid that like to believe there is a real top. There is no top. Because it's all codependent, right? Because if a top needs a bottom, then there is no top. It's all one thing. You know, it's like a circle, right? You think you're on top only because people are holding you up, right? But when these people are gone, where are you gonna be? So it's all one thing. It's just a fantasy that there's a top. There's no top. You know, there's not this, yeah, I'm gonna work really hard and really powerful, right? It's like, you know, maybe you've watched Naruto. He wanted to be acknowledged. And no matter how badly everybody treated him, he just put in the work and then he became the Hokage in the end. And that means a lot of responsibility. And you have to sit around and make decisions for a lot of people. Yeah, okay. But that's just the village we're talking about. Yeah, probably a large village. But he did it for the people. He didn't do it for himself. He simply believed in himself. And he also believed that he could do this job. And so he worked hard to get there. Now, who do we have sitting there? People who cheat them away, who tell lies, who use money to get to where they are, right? You know, I don't see a lot of politicians standing there and saying, you know, I love you anyway, even if you hate me. You know, you can hate me. They don't say that. They say, you have to love me. That's what they say, you know? If you go to the streets and you speak up against me, I'm gonna put you away. I'm gonna make up words like solitary. Yeah, and then I'm going to use the people to shame you so that you will never speak up against me. That's just oppression. That's what we're dealing with. And one way to suppress people is by keep injecting fear into them. And that's how they use the media. To direct people with their fear, they just push them. They just push them into a corner. They bombard them with negative news until, they're so afraid that they think, oh my God, what should we do? And then they look towards, Mount Doom and they say, help us with your power. Yeah. So what can you do? You just have to take responsibility for yourself again. And you stop watching this negative shit because it shapes everything you are. I mean, you're feeding this negativity every day. It's just one perspective. It's one perspective. And I'm just saying, there was people that went to the places where there was supposed to be a lot of war in Ukraine. And they went there and they filmed and they said there was nothing. There was nothing. They just show you images in the news. It's all fabricated. Yeah, they show you they have studios to make these kind of movies. Don't you think? There's even movies about this kind of stuff. I forgot how the name is called, but it exists. It's about a commercial about that they were doing, and then they just hire actors and then create some kind of war scenario. But if you say these things, they say, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, that's how easy they can label you. And that's how easy the mob will say, oh, well, he's a really weird person. Don't believe him. Don't trust him. Trust the people that gossip first, right? That's who you trust. Yeah. So good with all kinds of things. I'm so good with all kinds of things. But right now, I think, I don't really know. At the moment, I don't really know what to do else, but I just feel lazy today. And that's good. Sometimes you have to feel lazy. Sometimes it's good to just lie around a bit. No, lie around, not lie. Not tell lies, but to just lay down and let it all happen. So what else could I do now? I could make more images. What's the point? I mean, I just checked it. I mean, at least I made like 700 of these artworks to express my emotions. What more could I express now? I could keep doing this for the rest of my life, but I don't want to. I don't want to be a factory for art, right? I've already done that. I mean, this is video number 600 on this channel. I mean, seriously. I'm just writing my 26th book. 26 books. Who do you know who wrote 26 books? Yeah, I'm not boasting, I'm just saying I've given you a lot. I've given you a lot of my life, from my insights. So at one point you also have to realize, I think it's time to relax a little, to slow down a bit. Because seriously, my body doesn't allow me to do this anymore. I'm serious about this. My body cannot do this anymore. I have to relax a bit also. Otherwise, I'm just gonna collapse. I'm at this point where drinking coffee, it doesn't really do anything anymore. So at one point, it's just time to realize, I think I've given a lot for now. Because who's gonna watch all of this? I mean, who's going to watch 600 videos? Who's going to read 26 books? Who's going to listen to 200 episodes on my podcast? Who's going to look at, more than 1,000 images on Instagram and figure out what they feel by looking at these things, right? Who's gonna look at or listen to, I think it's 25 or 26 albums on Bandcamp or something? Who's gonna listen to all of this? I don't know. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, who's gonna read 300 articles on Medium? I don't know. It just makes no sense if you think about it. But this is what I've created in a little over a year. This is what I've created in a little over a year. And I thought, yeah, I still haven't given enough. I still have to give more. More! That's just being greedy. That's when you want power. You think you have to always give more. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, so what this is really about, I just want to relax a little and just talk about things. I like talking about sex. But just in general, I mean, the message with me is always be gentle with each other. I think this is over now. I've already, if you just tuned in, I've talked about this in the beginning of the record, so you have to wait until, I've finished it and then you can watch it. Now I want to eat something. Avocado. Yeah, I'm on the verge of certainly eating less, but until then, I think it's also good to still eat. Because we're fighting, it is kind of a war. Within myself, there's a war. There's good against evil. I'm constantly fighting that battle. But if I'm all the time fighting, at one point you just let it happen, right? Just let the black merge with the white and then because if you're always trying to fight the black, then you'll become it. You can't just escape into the light, because then you're out of balance. You have to be in the middle. See the darkness and keep the light in your heart or something. Or transform it. No, this is over. Peace.